Hi everyone and welcome to the LL Sports and News channel. It's a brand new channel just kicking off. We're going to be covering primarily boxing, football and any other relevant sports matters, topics, news items that arise. So like I said, it's a brand new channel, so please like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about it, get involved, you know what I mean? We're going to have some great features, we're going to do some collaborations, special guests. I'm sure you're going to find it thoroughly entertaining, so stay along for the ride. It's going to be a great thing. So I hope you can check that out. But without any further ado, I just want to tell you that this Saturday, the 21st of September, Wembley Stadium, 96,000 fans, a UK record, by the way. Arguably the two biggest punchers in the UK right now come together to contest the IBF heavyweight title of the world, currently held by Daniel Dubois, and he's going to be defending against Anthony Joshua, aka AJ. Promises to be a very explosive event, like I said. Going to be a great night. There's some great fights on the undercard. But how does this all play out, the main event? So what I thought I'd do is a little tailor the tape, look at how the two fighters square up against each other. So let's start with Daniel Dubois. He is the title holder, as I said. He won the title in June this year, defeating Filip Hrgović. A great win for him. I think he stopped him in about 9-10 rounds, something like that. But yeah, great win for Daniel Dubois. So let's look at his tailor the tape, how he matches up. He's from Greenwich, London. He's 27 years old. He's 6'5", 78-inch reach, 23 fights, 21 wins, 20 by KO. As I said, this guy's a big puncher. No draws. He has 2 losses. The first of which was to Joe Joyce. He got stopped in 10 rounds, and he was beaten by Alexander Usyk in 9 rounds. In a very competitive fight. You may remember that fight because he landed a really good body shot that floored Usyk, but it was ruled to be low. To me, it was borderline, but you know, they say it was low. So that's Daniel Dubois. Let's have a look at Anthony Joshua then. He's from Watford, just outside London. He's 34 years old, so he's 7 years older than Daniel Dubois. He's 6'6", so he's got a 1-inch height advantage. 82-inch reach, 4 inches reach advantage there. He's had 31 fights, 28 wins, 25 by KO, again, another big puncher. No draws, and he has 3 losses. One to Andy Ruiz when he got stopped in New York some time ago now. Got stopped in 6 rounds. Pretty bad defeat that for AJ. He got floored about 4 times. And he's also been beaten by Alexander Usyk twice on points. So that's the tailor the tape. Let's now look at the strengths and weaknesses of both fighters. Let's start with Daniel Dubois, given that he's a champion. We'll start with him. So, as I said, he won the IBF belt by stopping previously unbeaten and top-ranked contender Filip Hrgović. He stopped him in 8 rounds back in June. So I would say that Dubois' strengths are that he's physically strong, he's athletic, he's powerful, big puncher, either hand. Good footwork, which is surprising for a big guy like that, but he's actually quite light on his feet and moves well. He's only 27, like I said before, which is a good age for a heavyweight. He's probably not in his peak years yet, but 27, he's young and sprightly. He's got a very solid chin, he takes a good shot, and he's also a pretty good body puncher. Now I would say his weaknesses is that he has shown mental fragility at times, namely in the 2 defeats that I spoke about earlier. One to Joe Joyce, where he took a knee basically. I think he damaged his orbital bone in his eye. And he took a knee. Listen, I don't think that was a particularly bad thing to do. He probably saved his career in many ways. But some people say that, you know, he should have fought to the end, but, you know, he takes a choice on that. Against Usyk, he had his moments in that fight. However, Usyk prevailed, and towards the end, he was kind of beating Daniel Dubois up a little bit. And again, Daniel Dubois took the knee. It looked like he could have carried on, but it looked like he had enough. So this is where the mental fragility comes in. There was also a fight he had with Kevin Lerena, South African heavyweight, where he got dropped in the first round. And when he went back to the corner, I think he damaged his knee as well, to be fair to him. But when he got back to the corner, he looked like he was ready to quit. And some strong words from his trainer, who was Shea McGuigan at the time, made him come back out for the second round. And to be fair, he took care of business after that. So some people say he does have a certain mental fragility that could show up at any time, but we'll see. Also, I would say his defence isn't that great. Now, when I say that, he can get caught with right hands. He got caught with a number of right hands against Filip Hrgović. That was the bad news. The good news, though, is that he took the shots well and came back. But nevertheless, it has been raised before, his lack of defence. Right, Anthony Joshua, let's look at his strengths. He's looking to become 3-time heavyweight champion of the world. He's physically strong, as we all know, very athletic, very powerful. Again, big puncher, either hand, can get you out of there with either the left or the right. His right uppercut is particularly strong punch for him, and that can be quite devastating, especially if he gets in close and lands those combinations. AJ's also a good body puncher, and two factors what I think could be crucial is he's very experienced. I mean, he's done the whole 9 yards. I mean, you remember he won Olympic gold medal back in 2012. He's been boxing a long time. He's got bags and bags of experience, both at the top of the amateur level and the pros. And over that time, he's developed what I would say is a good tactical nous. He knows how to pace himself. He knows what combinations to throw and when. So I think he's got the edge there. So that would be good for him. Weaknesses, we've got to be honest to say that AJ's also shown a bit of mental fragility at times. And I think the way it manifests itself is that if things are not going right for AJ, he can go into a shell a little bit. We've seen that in fights against Jermaine Franklin, Robert Elanis, where I think you could also say the same with Kubrat Pulev, those fights where he's not got the guy out of there after landing big shots, and he's tended to go into his shell a little bit and allow those guys to come back. He did finish the job later on, but he can go into a shell at times, can display a little bit of a lack of confidence. But what I would say is that both these guys, AJ and Dubois, are coming off some real good wins, coming into this fight into excellent form. So to me, I reckon both of them are coming in very confident. And like I said, they're both big punchers. But I think crucially, AJ has the experience in terms of, pressure under the lights and stuff. And let's face it, they don't get much bigger than 96,000 fans at Wembley. Right, for my prediction, I'm going to keep this brief for reasons I'll let you know later, because we'll be doing a watch along. I'll give you the details of that later on. But yeah, this is actually not an easy fight to predict. Because although I give AJ the edge in most categories, I would have to say that, I do feel that Daniel Dubois is an extremely live dog. And the reason why I say that is because, like I said, he's coming off a really good run of form. He's a big man, strong, now believes in himself more than ever before, and he carries dynamite in both hands. He's possibly got a better jab than AJ as well. He's got a ramrod of a jab. Some people have said that his jab is the equivalent of most people's right hands. So it's like a power punch in itself. So, and he will be looking to establish that jab as soon as the bell rings. So, listen, man, I think this is a very competitive fight. It wouldn't even surprise me if Daniel Dubois seriously hurts, drops AJ or anything like that, because this guy can punch. And like I said, he believes in himself, whereas he hasn't always done. So I think this could be a telling factor. But I do think AJ, given his greater experience, the tactical nous that we spoke about, I think that he will come through, he will weather the storm. Like I said, he might have to get off the floor, he might have to go through, some pretty severe moments, but I do fancy him to rally. And I think round about rounds 8, 9, he'll start to take over, land those big shots. And I think he might get Dubois out of there with a series of uppercuts. Because like I said, the uppercut that AJ throws, especially after the left jab, right cross, and he brings the uppercut through the middle, I think that could be the shots that get him the win in round 10 of this fight. So I'm going for AJ to win by KO in round 10, by KO or by stoppage. But I think it's going to be a great fight. Like I said, 96,000 fans at Wembley. It's a stadium record for a boxing match. It's going to be a great night. We will be covering it on DR Sports. That's DR Sports. We're going on here at 9 o'clock. We've got an esteemed panel. We've got myself, we've got Robbie, we've got Daryl from the Boxing Lowdown. We're also looking to get a couple more special guests. We'll let you know in our socials just leading up to the event. But make sure you join us. It's going to be a great fun night. And listen, man, bombs away. Let's go.